Hi again. We're on page 178 of Christianity and the Social Crisis by Walter Rauschenbusch. Walter has dealt with the monasticism of the Middle Ages and the sacramentalism and ritualism of most of the church since the early church, and now he's dealing with the dogmatic interest. A parallel fact is the deflecting influence of dogma. Primitive Christianity had strong convictions and was very productive in religious thought, but it was undogmatic. In the Epistle of Barnabas, written near the beginning of the 2nd century, we find the noble words, quote, "There are 3 dogmas of the Lord, the hope of life and righteousness and love." End of quote. Contrast with that the opening words of the so-called Athanasian Creed, "Whosoever will be saved, before all things it is necessary that he hold the Catholic faith, which faith except everyone do keep whole and undefiled. Without doubt he shall perish everlastingly." It then proceeds to set forth that Catholic faith in a number of subtle definitions on the relation between the persons of the Trinity. Since the 2nd century, and especially since the great doctrinal controversies of the 4th century, dogma came to be regarded as the essence of Christianity. A man must assent to the true doctrine, and if he held that, the fundamental requirements of religion was fulfilled. But when dogmatic and speculative questions absorbed the religious interest, less of it was left for moral and social questions. The polemic bitterness and intolerance engendered by the dogmatism of the Church have been anti-social forces of the first importance. But it was probably an even greater loss to the race that its ablest intellects, the natural leaders of humanity, concentrated their abilities on comparatively fruitless speculation and on the formulation and defense of dogmas which too often were not even true. The mass of men are not able to comprehend speculation, but if they see their intellectual leaders vociferating about the incomprehensible, they will echo the catchwords with an ardor equal to their ignorance. In them, the constant insistence on dogma induced an unthinking submission of intellect which dried up those powerful springs of free faith and will that had made primitive Christianity so productive. In that respect, dogmatism cooperated with ritualism, which likewise requires no intelligence in the worshipper, and which always acts as a narcotic on the intellect of the people. But intellectual independence and determination are absolutely necessary if the moral forces are to make headway against deeply rooted wrongs. A type of Christianity in which pagan superstition and Greek intellectualism had paralyzed the original social and ethical impetus was in no condition to undertake the immense task of reorganizing social relations on a Christian basis. Even the personality of Jesus, which is the unceasing source of revolutionary moral power in Christianity, was almost completely obscured by the dogmatic Christ of the Church. I'll put a link into Jacques Ellul's comments on the change after Constantine and the Nicene period, the change toward dogmatism and intolerance. Next time, the churchliness of Christianity.